More breaking updates. Opposition meeting in Parliament ends. Demand withdrawal of MP suspension. So that has been part of the meeting. The discussion, or as far as the meeting is concerned, it was on the suspension of MPs. At least about 19 opposition MPs had been suspended from the Parliament. So they've demanded the withdrawal of these MPs. Opposition also demand discussion on GST in this particular meeting. Suspended MPs to protest outside Parliament. So all this comes a day after 19 opposition MPs were suspended from Parliament for alleged misconduct and unruly behaviour. So opposition demanding discussion on GST, suspended MPs to protest outside the Parliament. The opposition meeting in Parliament ends, and some of the discussions were on the suspension of MPs. 19 opposition MPs, remember, were suspended from the Parliament. So they have demanded the withdrawal of the suspension of these MPs and also have demanded discussion on GST, something that the opposition had been demanding over the last several days. On GST as well as price rise. Now, suspended MPs to protest outside Parliament, something that had, that is not allowed at the moment. Any sort of protest is not allowed outside the Parliament. But despite that, the opposition is all set to protest outside Parliament against the suspension of these MPs. The opposition meeting in Parliament ends. What has been said is demand withdrawal of MP suspension. 19 MPs had been suspended. And of course, there are several issues that will be raised by the opposition. Of course, discussion on GST is something that the opposition had been demanding for the last few days. Price rise, GST. And we also saw protests happening in the last few days as well. All this comes amid Sonia Gandhi being called in for questioning for the third time. Today, she will be questioned once again by the Enforcement Directorate. A protest to that effect is also going to take place not just outside the Parliament but on the streets of Delhi as well. And besides that, there will be a protest against the suspension of these MPs outside Parliament today. We have Niyamika live with us. Niyamika, so the opposition meeting has ended and several discussions have happened. And one of the key discussion is that the opposition members are going to hold protest against the suspension. They are demanding the withdrawal of the suspension of all these MPs.
Absolutely, this is what the opposition parties has been continuously demanding. They are alleging that it is a central government who is basically trying to muzzle down the voice of the opposition, and that is the reason why all these MPs have got suspended, and as many as 19 Rajya Sabha MPs have got suspended yesterday, and before that 4 of the Congress parties Lok Sabha MPs have also got suspended because they were continuously demanding a proper discussion and debate within the Parliament House regarding the rising inflation as well as the hike in GST on the essential commodities, and that is the reason why they were holding placards, raising slogans, and many of these MPs had also come into the well, and that is the reason the chair decided to name all these MPs, and they have been suspended for entire 1 week of this parliament session. And today morning there was a meeting that took place of all the opposition MPs, and it has been decided that all these opposition parties are going to demand the revoke of this suspension order of these MPs who have got suspended for demanding a debate on the price rise, and all these opposition party MPs are also going to hold a protest at the Gandhi statue. They are continuously demanding that the central government must answer their question as why and what is the reason that they had decided to do a hike on the GST on essential commodities, as it is the common man who is facing the brunt of all of that, and that is the reason why they need a proper kind of answer regarding this matter. And yesterday also we have seen that the Congress party's MPs had marched from Parliament to Rashtrapati Bhavan. They were also demanding the same kind of situation was also being there. Rahul Gandhi has also told the media that we need a proper answer on behalf of the central government as why they had taken this decision. And apart from that, a letter has also been written to the President of India yesterday by all these opposition parties MPs as they want a discussion within the House itself, and they are not being allowed to do so, and that is the reason why they are being forced to do a protest against the central government regarding this matter.
All right, thank you, Niyamika, for bringing all those details. So clearly, Congress all set to protest outside the Parliament against various issues.